Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to do the second part of circuit. This is the second lecture. In the last section, we have covered the general form of the circuit. We have seen that we can write the equation of the circuit like this: x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0, where the center is given as minus g minus f and the radius is given as root over of g square plus f square minus c. Now in this section we are starting with concentric circles. Concentric circles. That means the circles which are having the same center. Say I am taking one circle like this, whose center is here. Say this center is C, and I am taking another circle with the same center here. So if the centers are the same, the radius may differ. So if I take the inner circle with say radius R1, and if I take the outer circle with radius R2, then obviously we will see that the inner circle is having a lesser radius and the same center. So this is the picture of concentric circles. So obviously if the center is being the same, then obviously it will vary with the radius, and as you can see in the radius it is G and F which is coming from the center. So obviously for concentric circles C will vary. So if I take one circle here, the inner one as the given one, then the equation of the outer circle here, say I am taking the outer circle as 2, then we can clearly say that the equation of the outer circle must be something like this. For some C1 equal to 0, this will be the equation of the outer circle that we can say here 2. Okay. So whenever the constant term of the equation in the equation is varying, that means those equations are equations for the concentric circles. So next we are coming to the diameter form of a circle. Diameter form. This is the second form for a circle. Sorry, this is the third form, because second form we have done as the general form. The first one was the central form, and here it is the diameter form. So in diameter form, if this is a circle, then the information will be given as the end points of a diameter. So I am taking this one as the center here. One end of this diameter is A and the other end is B. So how we can calculate the equation, or we can find the equation of the circle from here. So remember, whenever we are finding some equation, we need a moving point on the curve. Here we are taking the moving point as P, and the coordinates are, I am saying, x and y. And for this point A, I am taking the coordinates as x1, y1, and for the point B, I am taking the coordinates as x2 and y2. So our task is to join these 3 points here, P, A and B, and we will be having some standard result of the theorem that every triangle which is based on the diameter is a right angle triangle. So since AB is the diameter here, we can say that the triangle PAB is a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. And what else we can say if it is a right angle triangle? Since the 3 points we are having, P, A and P, so we can calculate the slopes of the lines AP and PB. And since it is a right angle triangle, obviously here P is the right angle. Angle P, we can say is 90 degree. So then we can say that the product of the slopes AP and PB will be minus 1. So we write it here. Slope of AB multiplied by slope of PB, sorry, not AB, it's AP. The slope of PB will be minus 1. So if we simplify it by putting the values of the slopes, let us see what we are getting. So clearly, the slope of the line AB can be written as y minus y1 by x minus x1, and in the same way, the slope of PB can be written as y minus y2 by x minus x2, and the product is minus 1. So you take all the denominators in the right hand side, and we can write y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equal to x minus x1 into, there should be a minus sign here, and from here it is x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equal to 0. So this we can take as the equation of the circle. So this form of circle is called the diameter form, as the only information here is given as the endpoints of the diameter. That's why this form is called the diameter form. So next we are coming to another form that is very important, that is called the parametric form of a circle. So in parametric form, suppose I am taking the circle here and say the center is here, and I am naming it as O because I am taking the axis, the two-dimensional axis through this center. So the circle is in standard form. So I am taking a point on the circle here in the first quadrant. Say I am taking the point here, P x comma y, and I am joining this O with P. So for this line OP, we must have an angle here. Say this angle is theta. If I drop a perpendicular from this point P on the x-axis, we will get the point P dash here, say. So then, this length OP dash can be taken as x, and this PP dash can be taken as y. And obviously, this length OP will be root over of x square plus y square, that is the radius of this. So we are taking this radius as r here. So what we can see from here is that the triangle OPP dash is a right angle triangle. This is right angle. So that means we can say that OP dash by OP is cos theta, and PP dash by OP is sin theta. Now if you see carefully, we can write the next line as x equal to r cos theta by putting the values of OP dash and OP, and y is equal to r sin theta by putting the values of PP dash and PP. So any point on this circle can be written as r cos theta, r sin theta. And also you have seen this thing in complex numbers also. These are the real and imaginary part of a complex number in polar form. So basically here r is a constant length, that is the radius of the circle, but theta is varying here. At every point, if you take some point here, the value of theta is changing, and that changed value of theta is giving you the points of the circle. So basically these two equations are giving you every point on the circle. So this form is taken as the parametric form of the circle, where theta is the parameter. Because in a change in the value of theta, different points we are getting on the circle. So if I tell you, this is the equation of a circle, x square plus y square is equal to say 36. So you can say that the parametric form of this circle will be x equal to 6 cos theta and y is equal to 6 sin theta. So this was the central form, this was the standard form of the circle, so this was easy. Now let us see how we can write the central form into a parametric form. So in central form, we take the equation of the circle like this: x minus alpha whole square, y minus beta whole square is equal to r square. And if I draw the picture so here, then we will see that the picture will be something like this. Say this is the circle, and I am taking the axis here. So the circle is not centered at the origin. It is centered somewhere here at some arbitrary point C. And from the equation we can see that obviously the center is alpha comma beta. And the radius also is given as r. So our task is to take two parallel lines with the axis and passing through the center. So if I consider this triangle now here, and I am drawing the perpendicular, let me write C here in this side, and this point alpha beta also. Let me write it here. So if I consider this this triangle here, say CPP dash now, then what we will see, this center is being alpha beta, so clearly CP dash must be x minus alpha. And in the same way, since C is having the y coordinate beta and P is having the y coordinate y, so we can write PP dash as y minus beta. So you can easily see what should be the parametric relation here. From the triangle CPP dash, if this angle is considered to be theta, then we can write x minus alpha is equal to r cos theta and y minus beta is equal to r sin theta, just as the standard form. So finally we can write x is equal to alpha plus r cos theta and y is equals to beta plus r sin theta. And this two equation gives the coordinates of every point on the circle. So this is the parametric form of any circle with center alpha beta and radius r. I think it is clear to everyone. So let me show you one example. If I take the equation of a circle in central form, or you can say in the general form also, say x square plus y square plus 2x minus 4y plus say say 3 equal to 0. Then two things we need here, the center alpha beta and the radius r. So if I write the center here, that should be minus g minus f. So this point is here minus 1 comma 2, and if I consider r as the radius, then we can write it as minus 1 square plus 2 square minus 3. So how much? 4 plus 1, 5 minus 3. That means the radius is minus 2. So from this we can say that x plus 1, the parametric form should be x plus 1 is equal to root 2 cos theta, and y minus 2 is equal to root 2 sin theta. If you compare this form here, this should be the thing. So from here we can write x is equal to minus 1 plus root 2 cos theta, and y is equal to 2 plus root 2 sin theta. So this is called the parametric form of the circle. Okay, so now the next topic is intercepts of a circle on the coordinate axis. So I am taking the circle here like this, where the x-axis and y-axis I am drawing like this. So let me take here x, y and origin here, and if I put the center here, so this is the picture. So let me consider the equation of the circle as x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0, where the point C is having the center as minus g minus f. Now you can see that the circle is intersected by x-axis at 2 points. We name the points as A and B. And the same way, y-axis is also intersecting the circle at 2 points. Let me name them P and Q. So now we need to do a little bit of geometry, that we need to join the points A with C and B with C, so that we can draw the triangles like this. So one triangle here is CAB, and if I put a perpendicular on the point C and call this point D, then we are getting two right angle triangles CAB and CBD. So from here what we can see is that BC is the radius, and we can write it as root over of g square plus h square minus c. CD is the y coordinate of the circle, center of the circle, so we can say this is minus f. And since the triangle is a right angle triangle, we can write BC square is equal to CD square plus DB square. And if I put the values here, we will see that it is g square plus h square minus c, and CD square is h square, and BD square we need to find. BD square or DD square, whatever you can say. So from here this will cancel out. So we will get BD as root over of g square minus c. And also we can see that these triangles CDA and CDB will be congruent to each other, because CA and CB are same because they are the circle, they are the center, they are the radius of the circle. CD is a common side, and these two angles are right angles. So clearly the two triangles CDA and CDB are congruent to each other. So we can say that AD and BD, these are also same. Let me put it 3 here, because otherwise it will be meaning that CD, AD and BD all are same. No. Only AD can be taken as equal to BD. So the total x-intercept of the circle given as AB can also be written as 2BD, and due to this formula we are getting it as 2 root over of g square minus c. So this is the x-intercept of the circle, and with the same calculation and a little bit of geometry construction with the y-axis, we are getting the same thing here also for PQ. So in the same way, with the symmetry we can write the y-intercept, that is PQ. If I draw a perpendicular here from C on here, say this is R, that we can write as 2RQ, and which will be root over 2 root over of H square minus C. So these two are the intercepts of a circle on the axis. So in various problems, the intercepts will be given, and from that we need to find the value of C or the center. So these formulas will be very much important in this case.